get this going here. I am recording. Am I recording? Yes. Good.
Yep, there you go.
And greetings, Carlette. How are you?
Good.
Very good. And Marvin, good to see you, young man. And Dina, good to see you, young lady.
Hey, Fred.
Hello, Berdina.
Hey, Joni, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
Very good. Joni, you've got something going in Afghanistan or Mongolia or whatever. Is that correct?
Ghana. He's from Ghana.
Okay, very good. Yeah. I was trying to remember who that is. Hey, Brian. We'll give it a couple minutes, get everybody on here. Grab your pen and paper. Got a bunch of stuff for you here before we get going from the Diamond Club call. Give it another minute or two, and then we'll rock the place. Oh, geez, I don't even have a Zija t-shirt on. Hey, Scott. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Fred. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Are you talking about me?
I'm sorry?
I said, were you talking about me with no Zija shirt on?
No, I was talking about me. I was just looking at me and realizing what are you doing there, Brian? Are you doing push-ups?
Fred, I've missed you.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. I missed you guys, too.
How's your mom? How's your mom's going with her therapy?
Today I was telling just before you got on, it's kind of a red letter day. I got her out of her bed today. Me and the CNA. Hey, Brian, or hey, Kevin. We got her into the wheelchair, and then I cruised her around the facility to get her out of her room. We even went, we hung out by the fish tank they got there so we could see the fish they've got. And of course, she was asking about her fish in her pond. And then we went outside. They got a little enclosed courtyard area, so it wasn't windy. It was nice and sunny and warm. And we hung out there for a while. I was talking to her about, all the progress she's made, trying to give her encouragement because, she just doesn't want to be there. And frankly, I don't blame her. The orthopedic surgeon said these aren't the kinds of places you go for vacation, right? And so it was kind of a cool thing. And of course, and then she sat up in the wheelchair to have her lunch, and we had lunch together. And then just about the time it was time to get her back into bed, my sister showed up so I could roll home. Had a couple of calls with some new team members already and got stuff after this one. So, but I appreciate you asking. And she's, I'm hoping that she'll be home here soon. Probably not as soon as she'd like to be, but that's what we got to do. So anyway, listen, I got some updates for you. Grab your pen and paper. Hey, Cindy.
Real quick, under a lot of people's prayers, though, at least.
Hey, listen, I appreciate all of you folks. And let me just start with that. I appreciate all of you being so patient with me. Especially, at first I was just trying to maintain as close as possible. But then when she had the second fall and we went into the major surgery, that just pretty much had to shut things down for me. But it's not in my nature to not follow through on commitments that I make, and I apologize for this situation, but I appreciate all of you. We'll try and we'll wrap it up in the 90-day time frame. We're just going to lose the 4 weeks in the middle, so we'll call it the 8-week group. But we'll and apologize for the arbitrary Sunday evening. I know that's a challenge for some people, but we'll record each session. I've got it recorded right now, and we'll try and put a bow on the program. And I think I made the comment before, when I had to shut down. Folks, you already know more about network marketing than most people ever learn. Okay, the fact of the matter is, and you know the numbers, 80-20 rule, 80% of the people get involved in multi-level marketing really end up just being consumers. And since most companies don't have our products, that means that, 80% of the people that a distributor in, XYZ company is going to get are going to fall by the wayside. I mean, that's a lot of work to create an income. And frankly, most multi-level programs over the last, probably 10 plus, maybe even 15 years, have essentially been money games. You know, they, people make a lot of money, the players make a lot of money because they can recruit a lot of people, but then it's going to go away. There is no concept of true long-term residual. Now, what we have with Zija is a whole different thing. Okay, we understand that 80% of our people are going to just be consumers. They may sign up a few people in the beginning, but it's all the things that separate the 20%ers from the 80%ers. Willingness to work, willingness to learn, burning desire to succeed, consistency of activity on a daily basis for a prolonged period of time, focusing on correct activities, the things that you folks have been learning. And the reality is 80% of the people that get involved in network marketing are never going to do network marketing. They'll be consumers. That's okay. That's just life. That's just why, 20% of the population has an income above $60,000 a year. Okay. Now, for those of us in the industry, that means that only 20% of the people are going to be actively engaged at some level in network marketing, and of that 20% that are actually going to be involved in their company, 80% of them will never learn what you already know. Now, the exciting thing about this, and this is really important to understand, you already know more than 80% of the people that will ever be involved in this profession. See, you've heard me say this time and time again. There's no magic to what we do. It's a pretty simple process. What distinguishes the supposed, big dogs, the big players, the diamonds, isn't anything particularly special. It's certainly nothing that each one of you don't already have. Willingness to work, willingness to learn, burning desire to succeed, to do simple things on an ongoing basis over and over and over and over and over, and to just keep doing it. It was the reason why a guy like me could become, who I am in this industry, because there wasn't that much to it, but I was willing to outwork anybody and to work harder. What Jim Rohn says, okay, the law of averages. If your average is 1 in 10, then if you talk to 10 people, you get 1. What if your average law of averages for you is 1 in 20? Talk to twice as many people. Okay, I mean, I'm looking at a few of you right now that are, demonstrating this. Scott Asano. Scott just keeps talking to people. Now, we've signed up a few people. They weren't necessarily the people we were looking at. We got some people on the product. They're still on the product. Okay, if Scott signs up 100 people over the next, year, that's 1 every third, that's 2 a week over the next year. He's going to have 100 auto ships. That's going to create a significant amount of residual income. Not what he's looking for, but who wouldn't want an extra $100, $200, $300 a week that comes in every single week, right? Why not? And see, here's it, law of averages. Eventually, Scott, if he just keeps doing what he's doing, same thing with Cindy, just keeps doing what you're doing, you're eventually going to sign up somebody like you. So, which actually brings me to something I want to talk about here during this session, and I want to be able to spend some time just individually with you. Let's talk about what's going on, what do we need to do to accomplish the goals that were originally set. Let me give you some updates from the Diamond Club call of yesterday, okay? Ryan Palmer was actually recorded because Ryan's in Japan with the grand opening going on over there. It was Ryan, and then Chris Estes came on the call. We had, in period 112, over 11,000 people added to the genealogy. Okay, that is a record-setting period for Zija. I think at the height of the last wave, the first wave, I think we were looking at 7,000 to 8,000 people a period coming in. So even though we're in the infancy stages, we're not even in the toddler stage yet of this promotion. In the infancy stage of this promotion, we're already setting ZJ records. Now, 11,000 plus people, that's not just the $40 packages. That includes people that came in with enhanced, gold, diamonds, and so on. So obviously a big chunk of them were the $40 packages, but not all of them were the $40 packages. Cycle 1 of period 112 was the single largest cycle in ZJ history for rank advancements. See, this is the key. It's not just people coming in, okay? It's creating rank advancements, people moving up in the chain. We had over 150 new Builder 500s. Now, what that reflects, this is yeah, absolutely clap to that. What that represents, Builder 500s, that's the foundational rank to build a business with. People like myself, you know, diamonds. We focus on Builder 500s because Builder 500s represents the foundation. How do you get your new guy to Builder 1000? Okay, help him get a couple of gold packs in, right? Or that makes him a Builder 500 if he enrolls 2 golds. How do you get somebody to Builder 1000? Help them enroll or help them develop 2 Builder 500s. It's all about building from the bottom up. That has always been the way that I built my business, from the bottom up. And so that 150 plus new Builder 500s ended up creating some Builder 1000s, some bronzes, some silvers, some golds. We had 2 new diamonds last period. That's amazing. See, we've gone through a period of adjustment for the last couple of years, when back in the day during the first wave, I mean, people were popping diamond every week. And we actually had 2 last period, which hasn't happened in quite some time. Now, new enrollments, and this is going to be real critical here for this period, and this is really kind of cool that we're in the second day of period 113. This is all about maintaining high-level focus as you are prospecting. Make no mistake about it. Right now, for the vast majority of you, and I'm not necessarily talking about, for instance, Berdina. Berdina's is a platinum. She's got a pretty significant organization. You know, Carlette certainly, Joni certainly. You need to be walking and chewing gum at the same time. It's all about your new personal enrollments and the development of your team members. You got to do both. But for most of you, make no mistake about it, this is enroll, enroll, enroll. Prospect, invite, present, do validation, close. Okay? It's about putting people in the front end. You already know that that only some of the people you enroll are going to take the ball and run with it. A lot of them are going to look at it. They'll use the products. They'll talk to a friend or two. And you never know. You know, you're down the road, they may bring somebody in that excites them because that person's doing volume, and then they really get to be engaged, right? There's people that are in the organization today that spent their first year or 2 doing really nothing until somebody came in, they got excited, and then they went to work, and now they're platinums and diamonds, you know, that you know. But they sat around for quite a while not doing anything. Now, this is one of the most important things you can focus on for this period. This is the last period that somebody who enrolls with a gold pack or a diamond pack can get double fast start commissions for a period of 12 to 24 weeks. This is a major, major incentive. Now, it's going to end, I think, April 28th is the end of the period, and you'll have to check me on that. This is a major deal. This is how you get people that are looking at enhanced systems to buy a gold pack. This is how you can get people that are buying a gold pack to buy a diamond pack. If you got your notes handy, I want to show you. We had something similar to this. I forget exactly what the promotion was, but a few years ago. And I turned probably 90% of the people that were going to buy a gold pack, had their credit card ready to buy a gold pack, and they turned around and said, you know what? I guess I better get the diamond pack. These were people who were saying, well, I can't do the diamond pack. Too much money, $1,300 bucks, but I can do the gold pack. And in 30 seconds, they change their mind. And this is what I did. I explained to them that our business is as simple as helping you get 2 people. And let's be very conservative. Let's say we only get 2 people your first month. Then the second month, we're going to go and help those 2 people get their 2 people. And so now you got 4 on your second level. And then in the third month, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to help those 4 get their first 2. Now you've got 8 people on your third level at the end of your third period in the business. And that's where the incentive stops. The promotion stops for gold. But in the fourth period, we help those 8 get 2. Now you got 16 people. And do you see how in the fourth month, you ended up doing more business than you did in the first 3 months combined? Now, I don't really care whether you get a gold pack, a diamond pack, or whatever. I just want you to be aware that if you get the gold pack, your double fast start bonus ends after the third period. But if you just kept doing steady Eddie, slow as you go, in the fourth period, you ended up doing more volume than the first 3 periods combined. So where should we get you started? And then shut up and let them answer. You see, I mean, literally 90% of the people, and this was probably, Berdina, you may have been around, and I forget exactly the terms of the deal, but it was something akin to what we've got now. There was some major incentive for people that started with gold or diamond, and with gold packs, it lasted for 12 weeks. And for diamond packs, it lasted for 24 weeks. I don't really recall what the deal was, but that's what we've got now, okay? So your focus needs to be on, we got 27 days left for new enrollees to literally double their paychecks. Now think about this for a minute. If you start with a gold pack, or if you're starting with an enhanced system, the $330 pack, if you bite the bullet and add another $330 to that order as a gold, all you got to do is sign up 1 gold person, you know, 1 person with a gold pack. It's not a lot of money. It's a cost of a cheap set of tires. Geez, I wish a set of tires on my M6 only cost $660. That's a tire for my car. If you add another $330 to it, and you enroll 1 person with a gold pack, by doubling your first start, your fast start bonus, you made $250. That's almost all of the difference with 1 order. If you enroll 2, you've made money by just adding another $330. And be very clear on this. If somebody's got a credit card that can take $330, they got a credit card that can take $660. Okay? It's not our decision whether or not they can afford it or not. It is their decision. Now, let me also be real clear on something. This isn't about trying to pump up volume so we get a bigger paycheck. Okay? If your focus is, oh man, if they come in gold, I'll be able to make this much fast start bonus. Or if they come in diamond, I'll make this much. It isn't about you. Forget about the money you're making. All right? It's about them. It's about creating their story, about getting more income into their hands faster. And here's a real simple statistic. People that, the higher a person comes in, you know, in terms of the volume they start with, the longer they stay involved. It buys us time. It buys us time to get them on the product so they can get affected by the product. It buys us time to get them some training. It buys us time to get them a paycheck. People can walk away from a $200 investment or a $330 investment easier than walking away from a $660 investment or a $1,320 investment. Okay? Now, don't for 1 second think that somebody coming in with a diamond pack means they're going to stay in. I've had people start with diamond packs and disappear before the product showed up on their doorstep. I mean, and I can't figure that one out. There's just no accounting for human nature. So anyway, that's a very, very important point to be focusing on. Now, all enrollments for period 113, we're extending the codes. Okay, so everybody you bring in, somebody starts with the personal system. They're going to get 10 of the $40 positioning packs, okay, for the balance of this period. So so now every one of our brand new people has an opportunity to be doing what we've been doing, which is get your list, okay, learn the language of prospecting, understand that concept, learn how to promote the impending events, get people, you know, get them invited, get them the exposure, get them with an upline, and then present their options to get going. What's the first option we want to present them? Diamond pack. And do it like everybody starts with that. If you think about it now, Scott Asano, I'm telling you right now, when Scott started his business, he spent $1,300 on stationery, right? And a couple of lights. That doesn't count all of the equipment and you know, and the supplies he had to have to start his photography business. Okay, Kevin Steele, when he started business, $1,300, man, he was throwing $1,000 bills around like it was like, you know, lease payments and fixtures in the store and inventory. I mean, starting a business for $1,300 is an absolute joke. I mean, that's just downright silly. I mean, I was thinking about buying into a truck I was driving one time for an independent. I mean, I could have bought into that truck for only $40,000. Only $1,300. That was like a fill up and a burger. So don't, you know, start with diamond and explain all the benefits, and then say, and there's another position called gold, and that's a great position. I tell people, and that's a great position to start at too. If somebody doesn't say, yeah, give me that diamond pack, and you get samples of all the products, all the divisions, they're not biting there. Talk about gold. And I always tell people that's a great position to start at too. Some of my top income earners started with gold. Dee Dee Shaw started with gold. Doug and Amy Stroop, Barbie Stahl, they all started with gold packs. And then I'm going to share all of the packs. And as you notice, as you go down, you have decreasing value to your business. And if we can't get them in, then we talk about a positioning pack. And let me tell you where the positioning pack, who that's for. The person says, you know what, Fred, that diamond pack sounds exactly what I want to do. Give me a couple of weeks to put the money together. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen a couple of weeks from now. You know, the car's going to break down, the water heater's going to bust, you know, the wife's going to leave me, you know, the kids got to get braces, you know, I got to get denture. What? There's going to be something. Okay. Now, how about get them positioned? Okay, I got a great idea. I know it's going to take you a week or 2 or 3 to get the money together. Let's get you positioned. I got a perfect, I can get you over $100 worth of product and a position in my organization today for $40. Use the products, start plugging into some of the things we've got going. Let's get you positioned, and then as soon as you can, we'll activate you. It's the fallback position. It's the I got to think about it pack. It's the do it now while I'm waiting to get my money pack. Okay, it's not the first option, it's the last option. So everybody's going to, and the same as before, I think it's like 10, 20, 30, and 40 for the 4 different NHR packs. All right, let's see. New enrollments, 2 new diamonds. Okay, I think we got that pretty well. And by the way, I want to tell you, while we've had a lot of rank advancements, let me tell you what I'm more excited about. It's for the existing members of the team that have been around for a while, that for a long time have not been getting paid at their pin rank. I'm seeing a lot of people over this last period whose now pay rank is equaling their pin rank. And that's a very, very big deal for the people that stuck it out during our time of adjustment. Now, I want to briefly talk about the concept of promotion. This is something I was thinking about, in the times, middle of the night, sitting there in the hospital and not being, being able to sleep in a chair. One of the things that I was taught very early on was this concept of the art of promotion. Promotion is everything in our business. It's that sense of urgency. I think I shared this with you at one time or another. This sense of urgency, this fear of loss, promise of the future. Those three phrases, if you can frame up what you're talking to somebody about with those concepts, that's the art of promotion. But there's one more element to that, and that's in promoting the impending event was the phrase we used, the next event. Now, two aspects of that. Let's talk about Josh Plant's Natural Health Revolution call on Wednesday. The novice networker says, hey, on Wednesdays, the formulator of the products does a call. Can you be on that call? Well, I can't be on it this Wednesday. Okay, well, next Wednesday he does it too. It's every Wednesday. What's the sense of urgency?
None.
What's the fear of loss?
None.
And if you don't have either one of those, there is no promise of the future. Okay? The professional network marketer says, oh man, this is great. The day after tomorrow, in 3 days, there is going to be a special event with Dr. Joshua Plant. He's that big brain guy, #1 in his class from Harvard Medical School, did it in 3.5 years. He's the guy that's been putting together our products. He's going to be hosting, key phrase, a very special, everything is very special. Everything is very special. A very special presentation on the products. It's going to happen at 6:30 Pacific time. That's 8:30 your time in Kansas. Is there any way you can clear up a few minutes to get on that call? Notice the difference between that and every Wednesday, or if you can, or do you think you can? I don't even care whether they can or not. I'm pitching it like it's the second coming. And who wants to miss that, right? It was the second company, and where were you? That's the art of promotion. Instill that in the significance of this event. All right. Now, you got to give, if you're doing your job right, then people are going to say, wow, you know what? I can be on that. I'm going to have to step away from the funeral. I'm going to have to step away from the wedding. I'm going to have to step away from my awards banquet where they're celebrating me for 25 years at my job. I'll tell them I have to go to the bathroom, and I'll tell them it was a really important movement, and that's why it took me 20 minutes. Okay? If you're doing it correctly. So part of the concept of the art of promotion is selling the significance of this singular event, one chance to be part of this. Now, the other part of that concept is making sure you know what to promote. Some of you have events in your local area. Okay, I know, Cindy, you've got some events to go on in your area. The Atlanta market. Berdina, you're a ways away from Wichita, but you got events there. A lot of people will look at, superstar diamond whoever is coming to our market in 4 weeks. And you'll be prospecting and telling people about the big event in 4 weeks. I don't even know about the big event in 4 weeks. I don't know about that meeting. Okay, it doesn't even occur to me. Now, is it on my calendar? Is it part of my mental consciousness? Of course it is. But when I'm promoting an event to my prospect or my brand new distributor, I'm not promoting the event 4 weeks from now. I'm promoting the next event, the impending event. When's the next event? Tomorrow night. David Moses, Millionaires in Training, right? I'm going to promote that event, because that's the most important event, the next event. When's the next event after that? Well, it could be the meeting at Cindy's house, right? That's the next event, is the meeting at Cindy's house. And what's the next event after that? It's going to be the team call with Danielle's team, the Zoom meeting. And what's the next event after that? Zija Nation. on Tuesday. And what's the next event after that? Josh's call on Wednesday. Okay, it's from event to event. Don't start promoting the big event, promote the next event. Because if you want to have, 5 or 6 or 8 of your team members at the big event, 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, get those 3 or 4 or 5 distributors onto the next event, David's call, and then help them get a couple of people plugged into the Zija Nation call. And then those people are going to want to plug into the Josh call just because this thing can't be that good. And then they listen to the Josh call and they go, dang, it really is that good. And by the end of the week, your 3 or 4 distributors have 2 or 3 new distributors each, and you keep doing that next week and then the week after. And then when the big event comes up in 3 weeks, you've got 20 distributors, and each one of them picked up 2 guests to bring with them. And those of you that are seasoned and been around for a while, I mean, Berdina, have you ever had people that you invited to the big event and they didn't show up? Right? Joni, have you ever had people invited to the big event and they didn't show up? Absolutely. Okay? People don't show up because they don't have a good enough reason to show up. They're going to tell you they're going to show up. And then when they don't show up, they're going to tell you what happened. The car died, my mom died, the water heater died. I can't tell you how many times people have had their water heaters blow up. I mean, it's amazing to me. How can you buy a brand new water heater and it blows up every 4th Saturday of the month? However, if they have a good enough reason, they'll show up. And how about this one? Would you rather have 20 people invited that didn't show up at the big event for the training with Superstar Diamond from wherever? Or would you rather have 20 distributors who showed up and got trained? We want to write new business. We want guests at the big meeting. But if you get your distributors there, they're going to be walking out of there 10 foot tall and on fire, bulletproof. Because no matter what, if you leave an event like that, you're in the right place at the right time. So, some thoughts on promotion. Last concept, and let's open it up. Leadership. See, probably one of the key things that helped me very early on in this profession was this concept. One of my favorite phrases: in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Mm-hmm. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And understand, you already know, first of all, you already know more about network marketing, professional levels of network marketing than most people will ever learn in this industry. Okay? Number 2, you already know way more about network marketing, about Zija, about our products, about our compensation plan, about the program, the system, than your brand new person who knows nothing. Now see, most of my life, that's how I've operated. I remember when I was 18 years old, I got a job climbing telephone poles. Okay, working for cable TV, doing disconnects for people that weren't paying their bill. And the guy said, "Do you have experience?" And I said, "Of course." Now, I won't lie. I just didn't say I had experience climbing telephone poles. He assumed when I said I had experience, he assumed that I meant climbing telephone poles. Well, I lasted a week. Now, here's a little problem. More so then than now, I did not do well with heights. I was the guy that could not stand at the edge of the building and look down. That just wasn't my thing. And I was climbing telephone poles. Now, I had worked as a teenager for a cable company, but not at that end of the cable company, at the local origination with the cameras and that sort of stuff. But I knew the climbers, and I'd seen what they did. And I figured, well, how hard can that be? Well, I worked for a week, and I burned a pole. I stuck my last cleat in, a chunk of the pole came out, and I slid down about 20 foot, stopped about 6-8 foot off the ground. My other side finally hooked in and the belt hooked. But I was hugging that pole. I had splinters. I remember that night, Mom was pulling splinters out of my chest. I mean, all night long in my arms. And so I'm sitting there hanging onto this pole. I'm about 6-8 foot off the ground, and I'm looking up, and where I gotta go is 30 feet back up that way, right? 25 feet up that way. And I'm thinking to myself, either I'm gonna go up this pole right now, or I will never go up another pole again. And I decided I'm never gonna go up another pole again, and I came down. Now, I gotta tell you something, that really hurt, because that was a lot of money to me back then. It was probably 10 bucks an hour. And I did not want to lose that job, okay? I needed that job. But that's how I've always done things. When I first started driving trucks, I got my first, cross-country deal. The guy says, "Do you have any ice and snow experience?" I said, "Absolutely." Now, I won't lie, okay? I have been on ice and snow, okay? Even once in a car. Never with an 18-wheeler. But I'm thinking, how hard can it be? Just go slow. I got the job. Okay? And it actually was a very profitable job. One time I was have you ever had any, liquids, experience? Okay. It's a big deal hauling liquids in a trailer versus stationary dry goods. It's a totally different deal. What did I say? Absolutely. Okay. No, I didn't lie. I've hauled all kinds of liquids. I mean, I can carry a 24-pack in an ice chest. You know the story, okay? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Now, when I got into this business, and I've shared the story with you, is the day I went full-time, my sponsor left, moved to the other side of the country. Okay, so very quickly, I had to be the guy. And I always remembered, standard operating procedure. When in doubt, show up and act like you own the place. Okay? And who else is going to say no? How do they know you don't own the place? How do they know you're not a diamond? When in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. You already know more. And this is how you develop your leadership skills. Show up and act like you own the place. This is the time for each one of you. And I've got a little bit of a hidden agenda here. You have to understand. I need to be doing what I'm telling all of you to be doing. Go get your next new person. Start building in depth. Now's the time to be putting into place 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 new lines. Now, they're all going to go down one or the other leg. Okay, but the other part of our compensation plan is more of a unilevel plan where your rank advancements and more importantly your pay is going to be determined by the contributions you make to the genealogy in the form of personal enrollment tree legs. So what that means is, let's say I personally enrolled Danielle. She represents the beginning of a personal enrollment tree leg. Anybody that she personally enrolls and anybody they personally enroll, that all flows up through her, that defines a personal enrollment tree leg for me. Now I go sign up Berdina, okay, which I wish I had personally. She represents another personal enrollment tree leg. Now let's say Berdina doesn't do anything, but she enrolls Carlette. And I work with Carlette, and Carlette's a go-getter. She becomes a Builder 500 right away. That becomes a personal enrollment tree leg with a Builder 500 in it. As you go through the compensation plan, you're going to start to recognize to hit bronze, you have to have one personal enrollment tree leg with a Builder 500 in it. It doesn't mean the person that you sponsor is a Builder 500. But somebody that they sponsored that can trace their genealogy directly up through that person, as long as there's a Builder 500 somewhere in there, it counts as a Builder 500 leg. You need to have 1 to become a bronze or a silver. You need 2 to be a gold or a white gold, 3 to be a platinum, 4 to be an emerald, 5 to be a diamond. Okay? Now, you can go through diamond 1, 2, and 3 with 5 personal enrollment tree legs. Then you need 1 more to go beyond that for black diamond and above. However, what you really want is you want to have 7 or 8 or 9. Okay? Because what if 1 drops out? Right? And most of us have a couple of really strong legs with several lesser legs that always qualify as a, a silver or, a bronze or maybe just a Builder 1000 or whatever. Most of us have several of those with a couple of strong legs. Okay? And so you need to be that leader right now. Now, be aware of the fact that people like me, I need to be doing what you're doing. I mean, for a long, long time, I've had Diamond Elite volume, but I haven't had enough Builder 500 legs. Got to have both volume and structure. And now it's time for me to do that. So what am I doing? I'm working new frontline business. What are each one of your upline diamonds doing right now?
Working.
The same thing. They're doing what we're telling you to do. And so that doesn't mean we're not available to you. Okay? Cindy scheduled a Zoom meeting for a home meeting with me here a couple days ago. Joni, I'm doing a meeting with her new guy from Uzbekistan or someplace. Make sure I get the place he's from right before we do the deal. Kevin's got so much happening right now, I can't believe it. I mean, this young fella has tapped into a couple of very, very strong network marketers. Okay, I'm not talking first string. I'm not talking $1 million income earners, but give me somebody that's made 20, 50 grand in network marketing. Okay, somebody who's had a taste of the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 months. I'll turn them into a $10,000 or $20,000 a month player in Zija. Because we got a better deal. We got a better comp plan. We got better back-end residual. There's a lot of people got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to do whatever I can to support those efforts. But it's entirely different than how I built my business 8 years ago. And this is something I want each one of you to focus on. 8 years ago when I signed up Pat Anderson, Pat was the first person that really took off, but it wasn't that she took off. Okay, and you've heard her tell her story. I'm not talking out of school here. She didn't want to do the business. She didn't have time to do the business. Okay, she loved the product, and the agreement was if she brought in people, it would only be if I was willing to get them in, get them trained, get them going, build in depth. And I said, yes, of course. I mean, that's what I do the best. And I mean, every single day, twice a day, in the morning and the evening, I checked my sales reports. I've checked downline. I looked for who had written up 2 or 3 orders today. And then I'd go downline, I'd find them, I'd call them up and go, hi, Mary Lou. Hey, this is Fred Holmes. I'm your upline gold. Oh, wow. My upline gold called me. Noticed you brought in a couple of customers. Congratulations. I'm excited for you. What can I do to help you out? I work the business. I chase the business. For every 10 people I talked to, I found one that was serious. And then I started working them. And I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 levels deep in the organization working one-on-one. That's how I built my business. That's why I've got one of the strongest distributorships today. And I'm not running all over the country. Okay, now, what do you need to be doing? Here's the concept. Danielle, you sponsor a new person. Okay, that person, get them in, get them trained, get them going. Make sure they get personal introductions to all of your upline. Zoom call me, Zoom call Amy, Zoom call Pat. Okay, David's a little hard to track down because you never know what time zone or country he's in. But get everybody. The reason for that is you want your people, when they get that person that they need to have Pat's story, or they need to have Amy's story, they need to have my story. They won't hesitate to pick up the phone and call us personally. You can hand out your upline's numbers to all your team and say, hey, they're ready to help you. But they are not going to call because they don't think they are worthy. Okay, you got to have that personal one-on-one. Amy McKenzie, I got to tell you, she has got this deal down. The other day, she had like, I don't know, half a dozen, 8, 10 people that were new on the team. She wanted to get the introduction. She set up a group Zoom call. I took about 30 minutes, got to meet each person, asked them a little bit about their self. It was one-on-one with, I think, 8 people. But first of all, they got a little individual time with me, got me to be able to focus on who they are. Now, am I going to remember who they are? Seriously, I don't remember who I am. I keep checking the tag in my underwear. Remember who I am, right? Thank goodness Mom sewed the tag in there. This belongs to Freddie Holmes. But that's not the issue. The issue was I was present, authentic, and in the moment with these people. And when they call up, I will be present, authentic, and in the moment with them when they put their prospect on the line. And those of you that have done a lot of calls with me, you know exactly what I'm going to say. You can almost, lip sync with me. And of course, Scott's relatively new to the business, but he's one of the sharpest, most coachable people I've ever worked. He's probably going to be one of my next diamonds. I'm going to say it how many times have I said that, Scott? Almost every time. What am I doing? I am validating the opportunity because of my story. I am validating the strength and the knowledge of the potential upline and inviting that person to join the business or leading them to further action and letting them know because they're working with Scott, because they're working with Kate and Brian, they're also part of my personal team. We all know that you can have David Moses as your sponsor and you ain't going to make any money if you don't do the deal. All right? But we got to get them to do the deal. And they're going to move a lot faster if they, 1, believe in you as the sponsor, and 2, believe in the people above you can provide the information that is necessary. Okay? So, leadership, folks, you got to just take that position. One of the greatest things that happened to me, frankly, seemed like a negative in the early days, but it was a positive. My sponsor abandoned me the day I went full-time. When I chased him across the country, he abandoned me again. But because I was forced to take a leadership role, didn't make any difference what I didn't know. What made a difference is what I did know, and I taught what I knew. And I just acted like I was the deal, okay? Didn't fabricate my income, didn't try and tell people that I had 20 years of experience. I used the story that I had and taught people what to do to get that story. And then they came along, and frankly, there's a lot of people coming to my business that are way better than I am because I ain't that good, okay? But what I don't have in terms of skill sets, I made up for in numbers until I gained the experience. And that's going to be key for each one of you. So, hope I didn't take too long on that, but let's open this up because I'm going to try and combine, the two sessions into one session. Let's see, let me think here for a second. I'm probably good for a while longer here. I don't need to chop this up at the end of the hour. So tell me what's going on, folks. What can I do with each one of you to help you advance what you got going? Make sure
Brad, I have a question.
Yeah, go right ahead.
It's not really to advance. Well, it is kind of. I was out the other day and I've been talking with a gentleman and it's going really good. I'm going to be setting up a call with you. But one thing he asked me, and he said, Johnny, I don't mean to be nosy, but how much money do you make a year? And then, you kind of feel, I tried not to feel, I said, well, I was honest with him. I said, well, I'll have to tell you, I've been doing this more as a hobby, honestly, and hobbies cost money and not make money, but I'm engaged now. And the beautiful thing is it's totally up to you how much you make. What I make doesn't affect you. So was there a better way to handle that?
Absolutely. Okay. if somebody asks you a question that makes you feel uncomfortable, okay, I mean, other than, are you married? Happily? That one, you can hit them, okay? No, those kinds of questions. That's a great question.
Okay.
Start there. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. If you have a response handy, it gives you time to prepare what you want to say. Instead of having to react, you can respond. Now, when he asks you how much money did you make, okay, this is what I would do. I would take your 1099 from last year and say, last year I made, you know, $6,000, and it was a hobby business. Okay? I don't know what your 1099 was last year, but I suspect it wasn't 50,000.
No.
But, you know, pick it, you know, what, think about this for a minute. The average family in America, depending on, you know, median income of the average family in America is a little over $40,000 a year. That's typically mom and dad working in most cases, and especially at that income level, right? You know, mom and dad are both working. Now, a little bit higher on the coast, a little bit maybe less in, you know, Mississippi and Arkansas, but that's the median income. Now, if the family's living off of $40,000 or $45,000 a year, how much of a difference would it be if they added an extra $5,000, $6,000, or $8,000 a year to their income? Especially if it's a little hobby thing that you do on the side. And so that's one way to respond. Okay. You know, well, I'll tell you, you know, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. And you're sizing up the person. You're getting prepared to deliver your message. This has always been just a hobby business to me. But yet last year, I made over $7,000. Having fun. That's why this year I'm ramping up the game. I want to make that every month. But let me ask you, what difference does it make what I make? Isn't it more important what you can make? There's a simple response. Here's another way to do it. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. This has just been a hobby business for me. You know, some weeks are more, some weeks are less. I've had weeks where I've made over $800 in the week. And I'm just having fun. Now, what's that $800? That was the highest weekly paycheck you've ever gotten, or whatever, right? Pick your highest week. How about this one? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Well, this has been a hobby business for me. Every single week I've gotten a paycheck from Zija. Every week. Sometimes they're as high as $700 in the week. They're not always that high. But every week I get a paycheck. But it is where you went with that. Here's the real deal. It doesn't make any difference what you make. It's about what he could make. Now here's the other one. Great question. Glad you asked. It's been a hobby business for me. I made over $7,000 last year. I get a paycheck every single week. Some weeks it's been as high as $700 or $800 for the week. But I'll tell you, I'm stepping up my game because this is the year. And the reason I know I'm going to become a diamond is I'm working with people that have done this. I work personally with Dee Dee Shaw, share her story. I work personally with Doug and Amy's troops, share their story. And I work directly with Fred Holmes, share the story. See, you want to get people, okay, let's go back to the basics. This stuff you guys should start to be able to answer your own questions. How do you get customers? You share the product. How do you get them to buy? Testimonials, yours and others. How do you get people to join the business? Testimonials, yours and others. And Dee Dee Shaw, you know, she started with a gold pack, but she didn't have the money. She took the money that she was going to use for groceries for the following week, bought a gold pack, and got all her money back in a week. And everybody says, how'd she do it? It wasn't how, it was why. If she didn't get all her money back, the kids were eating Zija all week. That's all they were going to have. And Doug and Amy Stroop, when they came into the business, they'd had a business reversal. They were running on fumes. They bought a gold pack. How did they do it? I don't know. Between me and you, I think they borrowed it from Amy's mom. And they worked their tail feathers off, but they're black diamonds. 3 years into the business, they're one of our top income earners. They took the kids on a Disney cruise vacation. They said, you gotta just help us out. We need a little time to build this business. And they took them on a dream vacation. Here, look at his video. This is the farm they bought for the kids. And they started on a wing and a prayer and a van with 250,000 miles on it. They prayed over the van every time they jumped in it to go do a home meeting somewhere. And I know they did. I was praying for their van too. Tell the story. Okay? Testimonials, yours and others. That help, Joni? Okay, great question. What else is happening, folks? Here's what I want. I got a question for you. The goals that you initially set for the 12 weeks should have gone into writing, should be handy, should be something you're looking at on a daily basis. How are you doing with those goals? Oh, check you out, Cindy. Did you put you? Have I told you you're my favorite?
Oh boy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. So, let's see. Well, I lost 10 pounds. I only had 5 on there, so that was good.
Oh, good for you. Hey, listen, I saw a picture on Facebook. I mean, I never spent a lot of time on Facebook to begin with. I spent none in the last, almost a month. But I did see one posting of you in the gym with your Zija garb on. Looking good, sweetie.
Yeah. Let's see. So I've signed up. I wanted 10 product users. I've got 6.
Excellent.
Let's see. I did set my 90-day game plan, and I did set my DMO schedule.
Good, good.
The others I still need help with. I wanted to have a Builder 1000.
Mm-hmm.
So don't have that yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay. Have you targeted 2 or 3 people that can be that Builder 1000?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And have you outlined to them specifically the activities they need to be engaged in to accomplish that?
Yeah.
Very, very good. All right, let me cover a couple things here real quick. Cindy, and I appreciate you speaking out. Understand, we've began the final third of the 90-day game plan. And it is the nature of our business, there is a compounding effect. 2 times 2 is 4, but 2 times 4 is 8. The third level is more than the first 2 levels combined. Okay, it's why in my first year in Zija, I've told you guys this, it was a $30,000 first year. I made $30,000 my first year, but half of the income came in the last 90 days. I hit a $5,000 a month income pace in the last 90 days. Imagine what the second quarter of the year looked like. It was not big time, right? So there is a natural compounding effect. Now, what Cindy has illustrated here is 2 things. 1, concrete, measurable, specific goals. And then number 2, activities defined on a daily basis to accomplish those goals. And I almost interrupted her because I wanted to say something. I'm not so interested in the accomplishment of the goal. 10 new distributors, or 10 new product users, 2 distributors at Builder 500 or whatever, okay? Or my paycheck will be this much. Frankly, I'm a lot more interested in how did you do with your goals for activity? Because if your activity is correct, the actual outcome isn't nearly as important as the actions. Because the outcome is inevitable with the activities, presuming it's correct activities executed properly on a consistent basis over a prolonged period of time. If I had not hit, it was my 4th year in the business that I created $1 million in income, cumulative over 4 years, okay? If it had taken me 5 years to hit $1 million, would I have quit after 4? What if it would have taken me 6 years? Then all that would have meant is that it would have been in my 7th and 8th year that I would have made the second $1 million instead of making that in the 6th year, right? See what I'm saying?
Right.
The actual, what we look at, the results in terms of like money or rank advancement aren't nearly as important as developing the discipline, the maturity, the leadership to be actively engaged in the process, knowing that the process will lead you to the results you're looking for. Okay, and that's what Cindy did. Now, you got 6 personally enrolled new customers. Your goal was 8 or 10.
And
Well, you still got, 4 weeks to get those. But how about this? What if each one of those 6 people gave you 1 referral?
right.
Wouldn't that be customers?
Yes.
Does it
Yes.
make any difference at all whether that customer was one that you personally recruited or one that you got because one of your friends that lost 10 pounds her first week and said her mom wants to get on the product? Would you help my mom get on the product? And so you got that one as a gift? Doesn't make any difference, does it?
No.
There you go.
No.
And if one of those 6 customers joins the business, let's say all they do is start with an enhanced pack so they can get a little extra product for themselves and they want to get their son on the product because he's, in sports in the school and, get, their neighbor on the product. And she generates 3 or 4 more customers. They're not really customers. They became part of your downline new distributor. But aren't they customers that you generated?
Right.
See, here's my mind. I've always believed that, by building a distribution network, I've affected thousands and thousands of people with the product. Who's more product focused? The guy that goes out and gets 100 customers? Or the guy that goes out and gets 10 distributors and teaches them how to get 10 customers, who then turns around and gets 10 distributors who get another 10 customers? Now I got 1,000 people that I've personally or indirectly affected on the product. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last item. I'm a firm believer that the people that want to do this are willing to do what needs to be done. Where we lose them is by not being clear as to what they need to do. Okay? So when I work with an individual, I'll talk about long-term goals. Let's set some reasonable, realistic long-term goals. I want to make, $50,000 a year. That would replace my full-time job. I'm willing to give it 24 to 36 months. Terrific. These are the activities that we're going to get involved in. That's a reasonable and realistic goal. Somebody who's accustomed to making $50,000 a year from their, county job or working for, the whatever company they work for, they already know they are able to make that level of income. So that's realistic in their mind. The time frame, 24 to 36 months, that's a reasonable amount of time to achieve a realistic goal. So that's a great long-term goal. And hey, listen, if they get there in 12 months, well, then let's up the goal. But it is reasonable, realistic, and the time frame is realistic. Now, how do we get to the long-term goal? It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now let's go to the short-term goals. Now here, I like to be specific with the short-term goals, because if they know what they need to do, then all they got to be is the person that'll do what they need to do to get what they want. Now, we already know that's only 20% of the people, okay? That's why 80% of the people are sitting around waiting for the boss to give them a raise, for the government to pay for their health insurance, which is me, by the way, okay? I'm paying for the health insurance. Thank you. I almost went off on a rant. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what, whole different thing with this mom deal here. I finally had to tell one lady in the hospital, I said, listen, okay, let's quit beating around the bush. I got an American Express card that can buy a freaking house. I want the best. Don't tell me what Medicare is going to pay for. I don't care. I guess I am going off on a rant, but I'll stop. By the way, American Express is sending me to Molokai again, just on this last month. And I wish my contractor took my American Express card. I wish I didn't have to write him checks, because I go to Molokai twice on what I've spent this last month. Anyway, I digress. I go and I tell them, okay, you're a brand new distributor. You just started with your, enhanced gold diamond pack. Now, your first rank advancement requires 2 personally enrolled active distributors. Now, an active person is somebody who's on a 75 PV Zedra Rewards order. Okay, so you need 2. Once you have gotten 2, you move from distributor to builder, and that's when you get to start earning income. Now, your next rank advancement is to become a builder 500. That means 500 PV in each of your 2 legs in a single cycle. Our cycle starts Saturday morning, ends Friday night. Now, here's how you get 500 PV in each leg. Average customer is going to get about 100 PV. Some will get 75, some will get 150 PV, some will get 85, but it's about an average of about 100 PV. So let's go sign up 10 or 12 customers this week, and then put half in one leg, half in the other. That'll make you builder 500. Or we could go sign up 4 people who start with an enhanced pack like you did. Put 2 on the left, 2 on the right, you're a builder 500. Or let's go get 2 people who signed up with a gold pack like you did. Put one on one side, one on the other, it's 500 PV, you become a builder 500. Now, your next rank advancement is to become a builder 1000. How do we become a builder 1000? You know the story. Let's go get 20, 25 customers this week. Put half on one side, half on the other, you're builder 1000. Or let's go sign up, 8 or 10 enhanced packs, or 4 gold packs. 2 on each side, you're a builder 1000. Or let's take those 2 gold packs you signed up last week. Let's help them get builder 500. It can be a combination of customers and distributors. Separate them into 2 legs. Make them a builder 500, and you become a builder 1000. And then what are the activities? Share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. How do you sell the product? Testimonials, yours and others. How do you sell the opportunity? Testimonials, yours and others. How do you teach people to do the same? Do with them what your upline was doing with you. Or if your upline didn't do that, do with them what you're learning to do today. And then once again, it's just a matter of time. If you keep doing it, the people you're looking for will arrive, and they probably won't be your personally enrolled. They're probably going to be somebody down the line. And let me complete a thought that I missed a little bit earlier. When you sign somebody up, Danielle, let's say you sign up Berdina, okay? And Berdina's excited and she gets going and she, you know, the first 3 people that she talks to about the business, they laugh at her and she's in tears and she doesn't want to do the deal, but she gets a couple of customers and she does sign up her brother, okay? The way I've always looked at this, that brother that signed up with you know, an enhanced system, while it's Berdina's distributor, it's also my distributor, part of my business. Her customers are also my customers. And I am going to do everything I can in my power to get Berdina to introduce me to them, and then I'm going to go work with them personally. And then I'm going to do the same thing with those people. You know, Scott Asano signs up somebody, that person he signed up, Scott can be a flake and go away. That person is in my team, part of my organization. I have a moral, fiduciary responsibility to support their effort. More importantly, I want to do that for Scott. Okay? What if Scott isn't who Scott is? Okay, Scott's a strong fella. Okay, he's going to do this thing no matter what. All right. Well, what if he isn't? The guy that he brought in might be a Fred Holmes, pretty rough around the edges, but willing to take the time, undergo the growth and personal development necessary to become somebody significant in the profession, and doesn't he deserve to have me working with him? See, don't make the mistake I hear so often. Well, I didn't want to get involved because, well, it's, you know, Berdina's person. I don't want to step on Berdina's toes. No offense to Berdina, they're in my business, and I'm going to make sure that if that person wants to do the deal, I'm going to help them. Okay, this is the concept of working down line. Now, it becomes a lot of work. This is why, you know, when I see the multi-level gurus talking about, you know, how I signed up 28 people in 30 days. That's a surefire sign of somebody that doesn't understand the deal, or all they've ever done in multi-level is the money games. Recruit, 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 get as many people in as you can before the deal falls apart. You know, throw as much mud up against the wall as you can with sticks you work with. I'm sorry, I don't want to be that guy. Okay, I've seen too many of my peers in the industry do that, and they have zero well, they got a reputation, but it ain't a good one. Okay, I mean, there was a time where there was this one fellow in the industry everybody knew, was kind of like, oh, by the way, did you hear that, you know, let's say Mike joined such and such a company? And I'd say, yeah, I heard that. I figure they got about 6 months before they go under, because he'll ruin that one too. Pretty sad. So build in depth. It's a lot of work. Okay, this is where you need to start. I do pencil and paper, you know. There's Mary Lou at the top, and then I just start drawing the little arrows and the circles and putting in a name and who they bring in, putting in a name so I can kind of keep track of that stuff. Okay, I built an organization with the last company. This predates personal computers, predates cell phones. Well, actually, I got my first cell phone about that time. I had 11-foot wall. One of the walls in my bedroom had no windows on it, was 11 foot wide. I papered it with butcher paper, and then fortunately I'm real tall. I can touch an 8-foot ceiling with if I get on my tippy toes. I put the little circle, me at the top, and then it was a unilevel, so I drew the bar, and then every person I personally enrolled, and then under them, all their enrollments, and I did I had this beautiful pyramid on the bedroom wall, and a long extension cord, and I was standing at the wall, kind of, you know, just going, okay, Bob, now Jim came in. Do you think Jim's going to come in with a direct order? Or do you think he's going to come in with the 10-pack? Okay, well, let's put him down for a 10-pack. I think we can get 10. And I lined up the volume. And then at the end of the month, we did the 3-minute drill. If you can get another 10-pack, we'll get you in for the direct. And I'll do this. And we wrote volume, but I went way down, and every one of those people pretended like I had personally enrolled them. And for each one of you right now, especially for those of you that have gotten your people in, you've converted them from the $40 pack to an order. Get them in, get them trained, get them going. The greatest value that new person has is their list. They're going to bring you 10, 50, 100 people that you can't talk to because you don't know them. Okay? All right. What else can we accomplish this evening? Questions? Okay. This is, yes?
I don't have any.
Okay. This is the evening. If you didn't already do this Saturday morning, this is the evening that you sit down with your calendar for the week. Make sure you got the events on it. Figure out what hours of the day you're going to be engaged in your Zija business. Set your goals for the week. How many initial contacts am I going to make? How many of my existing distributors will I be talking to? What can I, identify the ones that you can help get to. Who can I rank advance? Who can I rank advance from distributor to builder? Who can I rank advance from builder to builder 500? Go let them know they're going to be your project this week. I want to help you get 2 new customers this week. Who can we talk to? Don't expect them to go out there and talk to them on their own. I always work at the lowest common denominator. If I gotta hold your hand and walk with you next door to go talk to your neighbor, I will. Why? Because I need to build my story. If I build their story, it builds my story. Okay? All right, guys. I will post this up. You can let the other members of the group that maybe weren't able to be here on Sunday evening. I know there's a few people that just automatically can't be here on Sunday evening. Unfortunately, it's the only reasonable time that I've got in my schedule. We've got, between me and my sister, we've got a rotating schedule for all of Mom's waking hours. We're there with her, okay? Because she gets a little confused, don't understand why she can't come home, and honestly, I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to be there either, and it's a decent place. It's not the last place she was in where she hurt herself. But so anyway, that's what it had to be, was this particular time frame. I'll post it up in the standard thing. Yes, Berdina?
Fred, I just wanted to say your #1 commitment is to your mother. No need to apologize to us. We appreciate everything we can get from you, and thank you so much.
Your doll. Thank you, Berdina. I appreciate that. All right, you guys. I got another call I'm going to hit right now, and then I'm going to get some dinner. Next Sunday evening, bring your questions with you, okay? Oh,
Okay,
Kate,
thanks.
have something for me? Kate,
What's that?
did you need to say something?
Oh, just wanted to express appreciation and thanks for all you do and for everyone on the call and their contribution tonight.
Ah, very good. Yes, appreciate all of you. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, see ya. Bye-bye.